Traders, this is Christian Farmer, Certificate Trade Group, and this is your end of day market recap for Thursday, December 4th. Hope everybody had a nice day today. Clearly, there are some very nice performers for the day and choppy market for some other areas of the market today. But ultimately, you could see from the sectors over here, more green on the screen. Risk disclaimer in front of you, please read this, but everything that we're going through in this video live stream is for education purposes only. Let me go just to the spreadsheet so that you don't have to squint your eyes here. Maybe you still do. So I'll zoom in here a little bit so that you can maybe see this a little bit more. There we go. That should be a little bit better. But essentially, SPY and Q's flat for the day. Not much really going on there. No, notice that these were SPY squeaked out a gain today. But look at the percentage change over the over the day for these, like nothing. Qs went down about 0.3 from the open, so a little bit of a movement there. But really, where the performance was for another day was in small caps and IWM. Sorry, small caps and IWC microcaps. Both of these finished up well in the green. Small caps up close to 1% for the day, and microcaps up another big day. So I'm going to review these charts in just a second, but look at IWC at 1.5%. I have not checked the performance for IWC, but since the Fed made that pivot, and I'm referring to John Williams, who came out, and this was not this last Friday, but the Friday before. So that was the 21st. Small caps are up roughly 10%. I'm going to move the. We'll go over these indices first, and then. So let me bring up IWM first. We'll do this backwards. Usually, I go through IWM last out of the indices, but here was the movement. This was on the 21st here, where we got the information that the Fed is basically saying, "Hey, we can cut interest rates now." Since then, look at what IWM has done, and I thought we would pause here for a little bit. But we've just continued to kind of grind higher, and that's where the performance is. Perhaps that's a little bit about positioning, but that's a 10% move now from the low. So yes, to me, all about the Fed. Now there's other factors too, but from a very simplistic standpoint, back where this point was, Fed fund futures were only pricing in about a 30% chance that they were going to cut interest rates on December 10th, next Wednesday. And since then, we're fully pricing that in. Fed fund futures are close to 100% chance. And this has been a pretty amazing move. Here's also IWC, which I'm going to bring up too. But I don't know I would assume that's around 10% too. So this is your microcap ETF. And believe it or not, that's new closing highs for IWM and IWC. That's new all-time closing highs. Remember, I've been kind of complaining about that recently. Hey, listen, you can complain about things. I complain about things all the time. I was saying that we really haven't gone anywhere. Well, here you go. You got new closing highs for IWM. I don't think that's new closing highs for the other indices. SPY's damn near close. And we're kind of just consolidating here. And by the way, that's fine. We can consolidate here all we want, as long as we're stay above the value area for the month. I think that's good. Also, when you look at the Qs, still above the 5-day moving average, still above the moving average for the 5-day moving average, still above the value area for the month. So I think that is good, and there's plenty of opportunities. And I'll just go back to this let me flip screens here one more time. I'll go back to the spreadsheet. All right. So a couple of things that stood out today. The move in uranium. Now, I want to just pause here for just a quick second. I don't know if anybody saw the Jensen Huang interview that they had. That was with Joe Rogan. I think it was I don't know if it was from yesterday or from the night before. It's like a 2.5-hour interview. So it takes some time to get through. But man, what a great interview. The first half of the interview was basically about AI and where AI is, where they kind of where Jensen thinks AI is going and how it's evolved, and talked about like some risks that there's a lot of questions about the risks with AI. But one of the topics that came up was about smaller nuclear reactors, and about how he thinks that is going to be, that is really going to be a source of energy. Comes, I think he said 6 to 7 years. So I don't think that that's a coincidence that uranium stocks were up 5.5%. They've really been dormant, and I think that this has become, it's going to be an interesting group. Also, clean energy stocks, your renewables did really well. Your BE, your EOSE, and aerospace stocks got going today. Again, they've been really underperforming. Transports, I think, also look pretty good too. So I'm going to begin to kind of go over some charts because I've got to condense this video today. But the other half, in case you haven't listened to that interview yet, the other half of the video, or the interview, was about how Jensen um, started Nvidia, and about like how it evolved, and it was a great perspective. It kind of reinforces your view of why he's one of the best CEOs out there. He's very humble. Most really good CEOs are not what you see on Twitter with some traders, which is very obnoxious and very pompous. Listen, that's the field that we're in, where that's a lot of, people do well, they get really pompous. I worked on Wall Street for a long time. There's a lot of pompous traders out there. What I like is when I come across somebody who's not pompous and who does well. Stan Druckenmiller's one of those guys, and Jensen's one of those guys too. Like, the guy just is so respectful, and one of these people who are always learning. And what's this headline here? SoFi to offer 1.5, so secondary for SoFi. But so just to go forward about how he's evolved, like, he was talking about how um, that companies, like, that you have to be okay with failure. He's like, if we didn't fail and learn, go down different roads and have different things not work, then we wouldn't be able to pivot. Like, and he went through several things, what I thought was very interesting, where they tried and they were on the wrong track, and they said, okay, this isn't working, we're going to have to figure out something else. So if you ever come to that, I as a business owner find that very interesting. Sometimes you try things, they don't work, you don't give up, right? You just go another path and you go another direction. So in any event, I thought that that was great. So a couple of things that I thought, we could look at the uranium chart. Yeah, I mean, these things have been are moving back up. One of the charts that I really like right now, even though it didn't close on the highs, is GEV. Right, everybody was very popular, this name, right? Going back, and rightly so. It was in a huge trend. It acted so well, but since August, this thing has not made a new high, and it's been consolidating. Let's see where it closes tomorrow. But I really like this GEV, and trying to resolve higher after, you know, uh, 4 months of consolidation. That happens after big runs. Sometimes things just consolidate and go sideways for a while. So I got long that. Rivian, which I've been talking about, continues to look pretty good. Again, I think you're going to have to give this one some time. It might, but I do like how this has made a series of higher lows, which I view as very good. A couple other names. Light was definitely in the spotlight today. They got a street high price target of 380 in this one, so that one continues to chug along. SanDisk was up today. That name has been kind of underperforming a little bit, but look at where it found some support, right at the bottom of the value area. COHR, which is another optical name, didn't close on the highs, but that's a new high for COHR. Again, it kind of just reinforces how strong this optical group is. Sienna, not quite there, but still looking okay. GSAT, this is a name that I stuck in the TTG trend portfolio last week, made a new high. So nice to see how this resolved. Sticking with the G's, Grail, right? Biotech. I noticed that this name kind of came back in, nice breakout here, digested, textbook setup here right into the 20-day moving average and bouncing. So some nice price action there. Any other names that I wanted to go over for today? I would keep an eye on what the rare earth names are doing. They're trying to turn. Watch this MP. Watch 6170 in this. Also, anything else I wanted to cover here? Fix. All right, this is another name where you've had to have some patience. Nice gap up, comes in, double checks this rising 50-day moving average, but is now trying to break out here. So I like this in comfort systems. I'll leave it there, guys. Have a